You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, I've got your weekly spoilers for Monday, April 28th through Friday, May 2nd. So, Bo Brady is dying and Tate assaults Johnny. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please reach down, click that subscribe button. Let's dive into it. On Monday, April 28th, season 60, episode 176, Jada is there for Sean after he gets really terrible news about his dad, Bo Brady. And Jada's with Sean. They're hanging out. They're eating takeout. And he gets a call and he tells her that his dad is dying. It looks like Jada may have moved back into her room above the pub. And of course, this is not just that Bo is dying. Remember, Sean shot him and now his dad is dying. So this is a big, hairy deal because he already felt guilty and now this is it. He thinks he's killed his father. It doesn't get worse than that. Kayla, meanwhile, has terrible news for Marlena and Steve and probably also lets them know that Bo is dying, which is terrible, terrible news. Tate asks Sophia to be his prom date, and I wonder if it's going to be just a casual ask or if we're going to get one of those whole promposal things that teenagers like to do these days. Marlena offers some advice for Johnny, and it may be about his daddy doubts. He is just not sure he's ready to do this. It's the whole thing back to EJ and Sammy and the rape, and he feels so dirty about his origin story that I think he feels like he doesn't deserve to be a dad. Plus, we all know from, if you've not seen a glimpse of the promo, it had an interesting scene with Johnny and a gun in his hand. We're going to talk about that more in just a second. Tuesday, April 29th is season 60, episode 177 of Days of Our Lives. And Holly sees Tate having a bonding moment with Sophia. So he may, in fact, be doing a promposal thing, and maybe it's in the square, and Holly walks up on them. You know, I think she may do a revenge ask herself because she is going to have scenes with Doug 3 this week. And speaking of the teen scene, yeah, Holly is going to be there again for Doug 3, but he is in deep trouble, and maybe he got busted for crashing at the Kiriakis mansion. Maybe Maggie found out he was there because Holly was hiding him, and I don't think she ever told her grandma. Speaking of Maggie, she rips Phillip a new one for what he has done to Xander. I don't think Maggie likes that Phillip committed fraud in Victor's name and it kind of perverted the wishes of her husband. Plus, you know, Xander is one of Maggie's favorite people. She thinks he's come a long way. She thinks he deserves a lot. And she definitely believes he deserves recognition as Victor's long lost son. And after the whole Alex thing, which of course wasn't his fault, you know, it was Teresa's fault. Maggie hates this for Xander. And she wanted to think the best of Phillip, but, you know, there's not a lot of good there right now. Although I really hope he and Xander reconcile. They're so much fun together. I saw an interview the other day with Paul Telfer talking about how much he loves working with JP Lavoisier as Phillip and said they just really get along. They crack each other up. They've done a lot of bro bonding behind the scenes. Finally, on Tuesday, Xander opens up to Sarah, but the more he talks to her, you know, the guiltier she feels. She's got to come clean before somebody else tells him. It's going to be bad. On Wednesday, April 30th, it's episode 178 of season 60, and we've got Michael Dietz debuting as Dr. Jeffrey Russell. He is a physician who is working on a miracle drug, and he is going to be, it's a short arc, but it's critical to the Bo Brady storyline. So he's got scenes with Kayla, who is making a desperate plea. Dr. Russell is sitting in Kayla's office, and she tells him that the drug that he's developing could save Bo's life, but Dr. Russell says he can't help. His hands are tied. If he's still developing the drug and it's not even in human trials or, you know, not where he can hand it out, that makes sense. Paulina gives Chanel some hope and encouragement. And of course, she's very upset about Johnny kind of backing away from the adoption. Paulina also heads over to the DiMera mansion this week and has a conversation with Johnny while she's there. Kat completely stuns Chad, and Gabby is hit with an accusation from Leo. And I wonder if it's related to the shooting thing. She doesn't like being accused of that. EJ tries to reach Johnny, and we'll see if he ignores his dad. It looks like that EJ's home from the hospital this week. His mom, Susan Banks, is there. Johnny does show up, but basically only to tell EJ that you're dead to me. And there's a flashback scene we're going to see of Johnny with a gun in his hand aimed at EJ, and Susan warns Elvis Jr. that Johnny is hiding something dark. So whether that's EJ's memory or a vision that Susan gets, we finally see Johnny with a gun in his hand. We've seen flashbacks to him taking the gun, but not being at the mansion with it. Thursday, May 1st, episode 179 of season 60. Phillip and Gabby are arguing. If she's looking to him to help her get out of Gabby Chic being part of Titan, she's barking up the wrong tree because he's got problems of his own with Xander. Stephanie and Kayla discuss a secret, and I wonder if it's the book that Stephanie is writing, because Alex finds a manuscript called One Stormy Night by Stephanie Johnson. That reminds me of that Peanuts thing with Snoopy's book, A Dark and Stormy Night. Anybody remember that? Leo has a suggestion for Javi, and Sean is looking for Steve to help him out with something. So Sean drops by to see Steve at the pub and says that Dr. Russell is refusing to change his mind about letting them use that drug. He's turned down Kayla. He's not relenting. And Sean says that drug is his dad Bo's only shot to save his life. So Sean wants he and Steve to steal it so they can give it to Bo. Meanwhile, Alex and Xander confer on Thursday. They're putting their heads together about business matters. We're going to wrap up the week in Salem on Friday, May 2nd, season 60, episode 180. And of course, this week, and I actually don't have a date on when this happens. It could be earlier, it could be later. But Johnny is going to tell Chanel he doesn't think he can go through with the adoption, and she's devastated. Sophia and Tate are at the door of her mom Paulina's apartment, and Chanel's in tears. And that is what lays the groundwork for this confrontation. Johnny has checked into a room at the Salem Inn for some reason. Maybe he leaves to be alone and think, or maybe Chanel tosses him out. Either way, Tate shows up and punches Johnny in the face and tears into him because obviously he's frustrated. Sarah offers some advice to her hubby, Xander, and Rita. Remember sneaky Rita that works for DiMera? She gets a new assignment from EJ. Marlena gives Belle some advice, and it may be about EJ because Marlena hates the guy, and I know she doesn't want Belle to be in love with him. And Sophia is really annoyed with her mom, Amy.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.